Set boundaries with your clients. What's happening? I am Erik J. Olson. When I first started out on my own, I did not set any boundaries with my clients whatsoever. Now, people who have been in business for a couple of years, they will say things like, oh, I make sure that I tell my clients I don't work on the weekends, or I don't work at night, or I refuse to answer emails after 5 p.m. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you should be disagreeable per se with your clients, and you should definitely maintain communication with them after hours or on the weekends. I mean, I'm checking my email all the time, all weekend long. If someone calls me, I'm going to answer it. If someone texts me, a client, I'm going to answer them. So I don't believe in that as far as boundaries. Now you may if you want, but I think you should be available to your clients and you should be available to your employees even after hours. I mean, you are the business owner, right? Like you need to take care of your business, and your business doesn't run 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Like your business runs beyond that, and you know it. What I'm talking about are processes for how you do business. Now, these are the actual step-by-step processes, and it can be from how you actually start a project to how you build for the project to how you go through all the steps for quality control. Those processes, they're an opportunity for you to specify to the client how you do work. If you don't, they will tell you how to do it. But the thing is, they're not an expert. You're an expert. So over time, as you learn more about your business, as you're in business for longer and longer, figure out how you want that business to operate. And guess what? It's up to you how you tell your clients it's going to operate, not the other way around. But this takes confidence. I just interviewed Jennifer Crosswhite, who will help you put out a book through her company called Tandem Services. And we talked specifically about this topic. If you're interested in a book, go to her website, Tandem Services, and check her out. But check out this clip where we talk about setting boundaries with your clients.
If I had to go back and do it again, I would definitely be more intentional about everything. I spend a lot of time reacting to what my clients wanted. So if my client said, hey, I have a project, can you do it? I'd be like, sure, I'll drop everything and work on your project. And it will be on your time frame and your schedule and all that kind of thing. And so instead, what I have done now is I have my own, Michael Hyatt's Ideal Week has been fantastic for me as far as saying, no, I know the rhythms that work best for me. In the mornings, I do deep work. In the afternoons, I do client work. I have days I do not do any client work. And I was afraid to do that in the beginning. I was afraid to set boundaries with my clients. And you know what? They don't care. I've never lost a client over a boundary issue. We think in our heads, so much of being an entrepreneur, there's so many mindset games you have to end up playing because we think that they are like looking over our shoulder and they're like, well, why aren't you still working on my project at 8 o'clock at night? Aren't I a priority for you? Yeah. They have no idea how long things take. And so, yes, maybe it's something you can do in 2 weeks, but you tell them 4 or 5 because you have other things and you would like to have a life. And so having those kinds of boundaries, boy, I really wish I had learned that earlier. So I could have been more proactive instead of just reacting to what clients wanted.
That is really interesting because I've gone through the exact same process. Whereas we're constantly tweaking things here at my company, Rare Digital, because we just want them to work differently. But when I started, I thought that we had to do it the way that I was told businesses do things, right? So as an example, this is an example I use a lot when it came to collecting money. Number one, I hated to even ask to get paid. Like it just felt dirty, right? Yeah. And I didn't even like backing up to like the beginning of the interactions with the prospective client. I wouldn't want to tell them the actual price. I would wait till the very end of the negotiations. And then a lot of times like my price and their price just didn't mesh. And so I thought I had to like lower my price to do it dirt cheap. But once we started working, I just thought because of my background, net 30 is just the way it's done. And it took me a long, long time to like break that paradigm. And no, like that, it doesn't have to be 30. It could be whatever number I say. As a matter of fact, it could say, I could say, I need payment up front. right?
Right.
And just trying these different techniques, you find out some of them will work with clients.
Right.
Some of them, not many, but some of them just won't, right? But it's up to you to establish how you want work to be done in your business.
It's so true. I mean, they are hiring you. You are the expert. So you kind of get to set those parameters and say, this is how I work. This is what works best for me. And honestly, when we are working in our strengths and the system that works best for us, it's going to be the best product. We're not going to feel resentful of our client because they're taking up too much of our time, because they didn't pay us enough for this project, because the payment schedule is crazy. We will have a much better relationship with our client, with our work, with ourselves when we set those appropriate boundaries. I really wish I had learned that earlier.
Yeah. You and me both. Jeez. Well, if we can only go back in time and do it over again. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey, How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years, and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you can apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.